The exhibition, In Light or Shadow of What Was and Still Is, encompasses the works of 12 Lebanese photographers through which we share experiences and stories and narratives of life in Lebanon for the past few years, going through the revolution, the pandemic, the port explosion, everything in between, and living through the economic and political crises and collapse. The narratives are diverse and span from the intimate and the personal to the collective and the social. And the exhibition is built around a loop, a progressive loop, through which we circulate in cycles that repeat themselves and give the sense of moving forward or change, but end up going back to square one.
With the idea of the progressive loop, the exhibition starts in the middle of the crisis, where we're first greeted by the work of Miriam Boulos as she captures the aftermath of the August 4th explosion through imagery and testimonials of the survivors of the blast. We then continue to Manu Fernani's work as she shows a non-linear narrative of life in Lebanon by showing the realities and the tension that is there as part of our everyday life. Yeva Sodergaite's work portrays the last remaining inhabitants of Beirut, be it the people who refuse to leave despite all the hardships or the few remaining trees that are still rooted in the city. Tarek Haddad's work contemplates the experience of time and of idleness as it crosses the threshold from tranquility to morbidity. In a world full of chaos and uncertainties, Rima Maroon couldn't feel safe within the confines of her house and sought refuge in the outside world as a way of seeking stability and safety. Roger Muqbil chronicles the city of Beirut during the October 2019 revolution and puts at odds the euphoria and hopes that came along with the protest with the end of his relationship. Omar Gabriel invites us into the safe space that he and the queer community in Lebanon had to create. They reclaim their freedom through their bodies as a vessel to fight against oppression.
When we get to the second room, we encounter the works of the remaining artists, but also some of the works that have been seen in the first room. So some works recur again, such as Miriam Boulos' photographs and testimonies, Yeva Sodergaite's trees, and Elsie Haddad's billboards. The repetition is a way of creating this progression and the repetition at the same time. Paul Ghurra has extensively documented and photographed Beirut's landscape. Marked by the explosion, the act of seeing became unbearable for him, and his only way of continuing was to position himself as an outsider. Betty Ketchedjian's work confronts us with the feeling of helplessness by placing us in a near-tragic situation that we have no control or power over. Laura Menassa's work is a quest to find her place amidst the confusion and chaos in which Lebanon is plunged. Her work parallels the events that are marking the city and her life at the same time, merged into her diary. After the Beirut explosion, Walid Name felt disconnected from his body. This work is an attempt to reclaim ownership over his body while reverting to the chair rather than people for support. Many of the works have recurring elements. These elements help connect them together and create this common narrative that has been experienced by Lebanese people collectively. We hope that by sharing these works, we are able to convey some of these stories and what it's been like to live in Lebanon for the past few years.